Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. So today I am going to talk to you about two bombshells that I believe were missed from AIPCon. And I know I got a little baby daughter and that's why I didn't have time earlier to review AIPCon. And no, this is not going to be about the customer testimonials. I really recommend all the Palantir investors to just go on the Palantir's channel and watch the AIPCon and really look at the case studies of what Palantir does, because it's really awesome to see. And if you have any doubts about Palantir or how the product works, I believe that's the best explanation, listening to the customers and what it does to their businesses. So in this video we're going to talk about two things. Palantir is changing their go-to-market strategy. I don't understand why more. I didn't see anybody mention it in finance Twitter or finance YouTube, but they actually did say this in AIPCon. So I wanted to show you what was said and my thoughts about it. And then the number two question is, I seriously started to have worries about Palantir at one point. Because I felt that there's so many AI tools, like every company is coming out with AI tools, and all the big competitors, Microsoft, Google, looked like they were coming out with Palantir-like products, and I started to think that Palantir might be losing its competitive edge. And then I saw that ChatGPT was coming out for ChatGPT for companies, and I was like, this is very similar to Palantir. Then Google had a presentation, don't know what the presentation was called, and they were also showing their AI products where you can write programs and different business logics, and it was I got this very like Foundry-ish feeling. So I started to be really worried about Palantir's competitive edge. And somebody directly asked Carp about what the competition is doing and is Palantir still 5 years ahead, and he gives such a good answer that I think is really important as a Palantir investor. So these are the two things we're going to cover in this video. Please make sure you're subscribed and let's get going. And if you hear baby noises, I'm on baby duty so that the mother can sleep, but the baby is also sleeping, so I thought, why not record a video? But I don't know how long it's going to stay like that.
We're delivering. By the way, we launched the product just under 5 months ago, and now we have 150 companies using that product, 50% growth in the last month. And we're changing our go-to-market because we have no resources, away from 12-month pilots to essentially a boot camp where we all roll up our sleeves over 2 days and like, great, we'll show you it working.
What? So this was so important. For one, he finally answered the question of how long is the expectation of a Palantir pilot. He said they used to do 12-month pilots. So that usually means that for 12 months they get paid very little money, and you're basically in limbo mode because you don't know if you're actually getting this customer or not, because you're trying to show them how good this product is, and if they don't like it, they just quit. So he just said that they have so much demand. So this is the first white flag, that they have so much demand that they don't have staff to do this, right? And this is where the bears would argue that Palantir is a consultancy and the business is not scalable. And while I don't fully believe that argument, here you start to see that argument has an element of truth to it, because they have humongous interest and they are unable to scale because they don't have resources. And he said that instead they're changing the go-to-market strategy to a boot camp where they sit together with customers and then they let the customers discover the product. And I just want to show you what else he says about this, and then I want to comment on this because I have some worries about this product and some suspicions.
Both because, quite frankly, we don't have the resources, and we like to humiliate people out there saying they have products. What better way to do it? We will show you your enterprise working in 2 days. Talk to other people. But the central reason we have had these precursor technologies.
Okay, now he talks about how they came to Foundry and blah blah. It's not important for this point. But you heard it from the horse's mouth. So lack of staff to deliver the product, and in 2 days they are going to show you that the product is working, and this is to humiliate others. So my scary suspicion about this is that we don't know how much of the pilots Palantir is closing. So this is never disclosed, right? So let's say that you are only closing, because there's no way that you close 100%. Like, we know that Palantir used to work for some companies that, you know, quit and then came back and blah, blah. So we can agree that there is no 100%. So what if they made this change? Because let's say that closing number is 50%, and they realize that it's then to come to this 50%, you have to do a pilot for a year that uses up forward deploy engineers for a year, and then there is no guaranteed contract on the other end. So what if you would do a few days boot camp where the customer can, you know, feel and touch and start to use the product and, you know, get some results, and then the customer can say, yeah, I want this, and then you basically cut out a lot of, you know, bad cycles, because basically you only have the super qualified customers left. And the reason why they're doing this is because they don't have staff, and this is like a way to, you know, quickly run through the customers. But the thing is that I'm not sure, this is my worry, that this could be used as a way to, you know, just get to the best customers and not have to worry about, you know, going through a long sales procedure. And what if by this, because they're trying to quicken this process, they lose a lot of customers that in the long process would have seen how the product works and they would have gotten otherwise. But they don't care because they have so much inflow that they can basically just waste customers. So this is the thing that I worry about. And obviously I want to know, as an investor, how is this bootcamp functioning? Are the customers winning on it? Are they signing up? And I know there's no way to figure this out until we get to the first earnings report. But these are my questions. And again, this is a huge thing because it potentially unlocks a scalability in Palantir that we've never had before. So instead of spending a 1-year pilot with the customers, you realize that means that even if they announce new partnerships and new sales, it doesn't impact the top line or the bottom line of Palantir for at least a year before that customer starts paying and then starts really scaling with the product. And based on what he's saying, it seems like they're cutting that out, and now you do a boot camp, and if on the boot camp you like the product, then you go on to something else. Is that a pilot? Is that a paid version? I don't know. But very, very interesting. So the next point that we need to look at is about the competitive edge of Palantir in the age of these emerging AI tools. As I said, I was myself beginning to get worried about Palantir, and Carp gives such a good insight and answer. So I want to show this to you.
Yeah. Oh, my no notes. Perfect. So I've been in and around quite a bit of launching a commercial on Foundry, a handful of different organizations. First time I saw it about 6-7 years ago, and one of the big things leadership from Palantir is always saying is this technology is at least 5 years ahead of our competitors. Do you still feel like you've got that kind of a gap in between where you are today and other competitors in enterprise SaaS analytics space?
It depends. You know, we have a number of products. Certain aspects of our product, the 5 years ahead is also a euphemism for no one really understands why this works,
right?
And they haven't started building. Now, I would say in the AI context, the context of time has shifted. So, like, people are doing what you would take 10 years in like 2 years or a year. Certain products that aren't relevant for this audience, like PG, Gaia, Nexus Peering, Apollo, might be like there's no one else going to build them. Then you have Foundry. I don't think anyone's going to build Foundry for lots of reasons. It's expensive, hard to build. It only looks really valuable now. So like because it was valuable before, but somehow it wasn't in the zeitgeist that how valuable it could be. Foundry until AI was like, it was kind of like a, God bless all of you who adopted it, and I believe it is the best product on the market, but it basically was like a we will make your enterprise work better, but you're not going to have any fun. And so and now it's like, we will get your enterprise sizzling, because if you have it, you can adopt AI in an ethical way and change your business. So now it's kind of, for lack of a better word, it's sexy. So there may actually be people who build components of Foundry, and I cannot believe that people are not focused on building like branching, ontology, logic. Everyone's going to need, but one of the things about being kind of, like from the outside, we're not following a playbook, so people are like, well, but where's the playbook aspect of ontology, branching?
So this is not the best part yet, but basically he's saying that the 5 years is a euphemism on that nobody's working on a similar product. But if somebody would be working on the product, it's not 5 years. So this is like a red flag, because AI, the tools and the productivity went up so much that it wouldn't take that much time, but there's still nobody doing it. So that is a white flag and a red flag at the same time.
Where does that fit into my 5, 6, whatever, however they... So in each one of these cases, we're de facto very far ahead. I think the 5-year thing you have to compress that, because AI, large language models, copilots, other things will allow you to work quicker, and people see the roadmap. And quite frankly, if you're looking at PG, we have, I don't know, a large percent of the addressable market, but no one cares because the market is very small.
Right.
Whereas here, the market is infinite. It's the only market that matters. I'm still somewhat optimistic, because we owe a lot to the venture community. I think the venture community is going to have a very hard time, in that they want a model where all the money is in building new LLMs, and I believe all the value is in managing the LLM in a safe, effective way and writing logic to it. And that's a subtle difference. If we are right, you want to be a company that's off the ground and has something like we have, existing client base, a reputation, something like Foundry, an ability to implement ontology, understanding of tooling, even the understanding of you would need tools. It sounds very simple.
Right.
And obviously LLM needs tools, but even that is like somehow outside the financing bailiwick of most venture people. And then you have large companies. And these companies are the best in the world at what they do, but with notable exceptions, in my business, the software business, there are just not that many software engineers. And then it's like, so their model is to acquire companies. Well, and there are not that many companies to acquire. So I'm pretty optimistic about this, but on the other hand, internally, we are running very quickly. We don't want to make the mistake of being ahead and then losing.
Right.
So we don't want to make the mistake of being ahead and then losing it. So two super interesting points here. So one of them is that it seems like everybody thinks that the money is in what kind of large language model you can make. So we have, ChatGPT-4, we have Lambda by Meta, we have Bard by Google, and this is where people think the money is. And then Karp is saying that they think that the money is in actually managing the LLM and augmenting them with different tools. And, then you want to be a company like them that has the reputation, has the tools, has been working with this for a long time. So again, we come to this point that nobody is really working on what Palantir is working on. And this is a really, really nice white flag. Again, I'm not happy to hear that the 5 years is not 5 years anymore because of AI, but I mean, that's quite logical. They are in the AI field, right? So it's just only logical that their people would be the most informed and, using AI, so whatever. And then the second point is that their customers are very big companies. And these very big companies, they don't have software engineers on their team, right? So they cannot go and say like, oh, we're gonna build this in-house, because you know Tyson Food has a lot of logistics guys, a lot of like I don't know what guys, but for sure they don't have software engineers. And you know, in the AIP, you know, you had in the AIPCon, you had, you know, Jacobs, you had the Cleveland Hospital. And you know, the Cleveland Hospital has a lot of doctors but not software engineers. Then you had the Canadian some railroad, I don't remember exactly what railroad, right? And they have a lot of railroad engineers and this and that technicians, and but not software engineers, right? And then when these companies have a problem, like how they handle it is they acquire other companies. Like let's say this train company has a problem with, I don't know, the transmission between the railroad tracks, and then they can just buy this transmission company, hire in the talent, and then the problem is solved. But who are you gonna acquire in this AI world? Are they going to go and acquire Meta? No way. Are they going to go and acquire Google? No way. Are they going to go and acquire Microsoft? No effing way. Are they going to acquire Palantir? Good luck with the F shares, but Palantir is the least market cap out of all these, right? So this also gives this competitive edge that the only thing that these companies can really do is just hire in the service by Palantir. So this answer made me really, really relaxed about the competitive edge of Palantir. And the whole AIPCon, it was fantastic with the client testimonies and listening to the growth that they have, and even the customers that have presenting on stage. One of them was this hospital that barely started using AIP when 3 months ago when they were first presenting, and in this presentation they were already using AIP in like 9 other departments, and it was really, you could see that it's really, really scaling. So it's very interesting to follow these customers and see how they're scaling and winning with the product. So overall, very good impression. They're doing the right thing. And yeah, this changing of the go-to-market strategy, I want to know more about that. Let me know in the comments what you thought about this. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Ciao, ciao.